everyone, and welcome to day 22 of 31 Days of Halloween. So for today's video, I'm going to give you guys some tips and advice for if you are going to Fright Night for the first time. Now, if you don't know what Fright Night is a Halloween event that happens at Warner Brothers Movie World on the Gold Coast, which is one of our theme parks here, and it is pretty much similar to Halloween Horror Nights, which is at Universal Studios. Well, this year is my 4th year going, so I feel like I've experienced it enough to give you guys some advice, and if you've never been before, and so I always have a routine of when I go. I always know what things I'm going to do first and how to do stuff, so I'm going to give you guys some advice and tips. So here we go. So the first thing is, when you get there, go on the rides first, because the rides, the big roller coasters, the Superman Escape, the Green Lantern, and the which used to be the Lethal Weapon but is now called Arkham Asylum, those 3 roller coasters are only open until 9:30, so they're open from when the event starts, which I think is either 6 or 6:30 p.m. Until 9:30, so they're only open for 3 hours. The reason why that they close at 9:30 is, I think, because of the noise, the noise restriction or whatever, in that area. So go on those rides first, because they close at 9:30. So I always want to go on the Superman Escape first, because that's one of the most popular ones. And then the next one is, the next most popular one is the Green Lantern, which is the big green one that's out the front. So yeah, go on those 2 first, because they always get long lines, and then go straight towards them. So that's what I normally do every time I go to Movie World. Either is it just for a normal day, or for Fright Night or the White Christmas event. I always go to those ones first, because I know that they shut at 9:30, so go to those ones first, because it's worth it, because they're really good roller coasters. And then the rides that are inside, the Justice League ride, which is one that you shoot and you get points. That one opens for the whole night, I think, and then so does the Scooby-Doo Spooky Coaster. Even though it's a roller coaster, it's an inside roller coaster, so it stays open all night. And then that's all the rides that are open. I think the kids area is all closed, of course, and then the Wild West Falls is closed at night, which is so annoying, because I've been on it at night before and it was so good at night. That's the water ride, where you go down a big thing at the end, and water goes everywhere, and it's closed, because I'm pretty sure it's closed the whole night, because I'm pretty sure of the noise that it makes a pretty loud noise when you go down the the big hill ramp thing at the end. And so I feel that's due to noise restrictions, so that's closed the entire night. But other than that, there are some pretty good rides that are open until 9:30. So after you do the rides and get them out of the way, then go to the haunted houses, and go to the one that you think that would be the one with the least wait. Even though they have really long waits, I always go to the ones that aren't the ones that are the most popular ones, because I know that I'm going to stand in the line for a really long time, because it they don't have them there year round, so everyone wants to go to the haunted houses. So I always tend to go to the ones that are the least scarier ones, and those ones usually have the least long line. So go to those ones if you want to, but if you want to stick it out and do the long line for the good haunted houses, then do that. But for me personally, I tend to go for the ones that are, well, what I think are least scary, and go for those ones, because they usually have not a long wait. So, well, they do, but not as long as the other ones. The lines for the haunted houses can get really really long, so just be prepared for that, because I know a lot of people complain about it, but it's just normal for that, because they don't have the haunted houses up year round, so people get really excited for that, so they always go for the haunted houses first, so whereas I like to go for the rides first. So also, when you're out in the streets, they have scare actors out during the streets, through like Main Street mostly they have scare actors, and I think they have like some near the end as well, but mainly in Main Street. And like it is, you will get scared because they go for the people who look scared, and that's generally me. I usually am terrified and they usually scare me the most, so that's awesome for me. Not really, I kind of hate it. So I always try and not look scared when I'm in this, like when I'm out in the streets, but it's just so hard not to, because some of those scare actors are really good and they're like terrifying, so it's just so hard not to get scared. Also, another thing, whilst you're out in the streets, there's fog machines or like smoke machines, whatever you want to call them, everywhere, and it's so hard to see sometimes. I remember one time I could not see like 2 feet in front of me because there was that much smoke, and it was so hard to do that. So yeah, it was like really hard to like walk because there was just so much smoke. And it's like, normally I hate the fog machines at Fright Night because there's just so many, and they kind of like do it over the top of it, I think, because sometimes you can't see, and it's like kind of sucks, because then like I think sometimes this has happened to me when I'm like gone through a big thing of like fog or smoke or whatever you want to call it, and then like when it's all cleared up, there's a scare actor there and they jump out and scare you, and it's just like, it's like so scary, but it's also a lot of fun as well. So that is another thing to look out for, is all this fog or smoke is there, because there's a lot and sometimes you can't see where you're walking, so be careful of that. Also, another thing is, this happened to me last year when I went. I thought that, like, because they do have restaurants that are open, not all of them, but they have a couple that are open. And there was this little cafe that my friend and I went into just to take a break and stuff, and like to eat, of course. And I thought they wouldn't come in the restaurant, but they did. They came into what was more like a cafe. They came into the cafe, and to make it worse, it was a scary clown, and I'm terrified of clowns. And now that I think about it, I should have put that in my biggest phobias one, because I totally forgot about that I'm scared of clowns, which I don't know how I forgot about that. But to add to my biggest phobias video, I'm scared of clowns. But it was so terrifying that this clown came in, and I was sitting at the table by myself because my friend had gone to like order her drink or whatever, and I was sitting by myself, and I was like, oh my god, please don't come to me because I'm by myself. And thank god he like went past me. I was like, oh thank god, because he was just like roaming all around and just like doing like being really creepy, and I was just like, please don't come to me. And he like didn't, thank god, because if he did I would have just been like, nope. So I like tried not to make eye contact with him, and sometimes that's a bad thing, but sometimes it also helps if you don't make eye contact with them. But yeah, it was just like, oh, please don't come near me because I'm alone, and thank goodness he didn't. I was so terrified that he was going to, because if he did, I probably would have had a heart attack, because that would have been terrifying. But anyway, so yeah, those are all the tips and advice that I can think of to give you guys if you are going to Fright Night for the first time this year. It is a really great night, and the tickets aren't actually that expensive. Well, I don't think they are. They're $30 for the whole night, which isn't too bad, because sometimes I think like Halloween events like that can get like really expensive, like ticket wise. So I don't think that $30 is too bad, and you get like some rides as well. And yeah, it's overall a really good night, and I would recommend it. Also, another thing is, don't bring your kids, because it would just be so scary for them. It's not a kid event at all. It's more of like a teenage or like adult event. It's definitely not a kid event at all, because they would just get terrified. And I'm even terrified, and I'm almost 21, so I would not have wanted to go to Fright Night if I was like younger than 21, like when I was a child. So yeah, like just don't bring your kids, leave them at home. But anyway, so thank you guys for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you all tomorrow for day 23 of 31 days of Halloween. Alright, bye guys.